I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a return to subscribe, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate support. Guys, got some news on the migrant front, or news resulting from the migrant situation. It's come now to the attention that they're warning Americans about traveling to Mexico because, for some odd reason, the cartels now, various cartels, namely in Juarez, are kidnapping people, extorting them, and torturing them for money. So this is what they got so far, man. I know a lot of people are from Mexican descent. Shout out Mexico, you know what I'm saying? And they have family over there, but they're not safe neither. And these people playing for keeps, man. So, I mean, I would stay my behind home. Take a look.
Authorities on both sides of the border are ramping up security after a troubling change in cartel tactics. With fewer migrants crossing into the U.S., Mexican cartels are now targeting everyday civilians, and that includes Americans, for kidnapping and ransom. In one high-profile incident, cartel members kidnapped 4 Americans in northern Mexico, killing 2 before releasing the others. News Nation's Jorge Ventura joining us with the latest on this. Wow, what a disturbing shift. What more do you know about why the cartels are now going after everyday people, and how frequently is it happening?
Yeah, that's right, Marnie. This is really a chilling shift in tactics. Now we are seeing in real time cartels adapting to the recent crackdown on illegal immigration on the southern border. Now with this shift focusing on kidnapping. Now it's not just Mexican civilians who are at risk, but also everyday Americans visiting Mexico. So now with fewer migrants reaching the southern border, meaning that now fewer migrants are being able to be charged by cartels, what's called as piso. These are floor fees. This is a cartel slang for migrants having to pay cartels to travel through cartel areas going through the U.S. So instead, now cartels are targeting civilians for kidnapping, random people who they think have something to lose, whether it's a business, a job, or even just having family members willing to pay for their release. In a recent case, Mexican authorities did confirm that 2 Americans were kidnapped right outside a sports bar in Juarez, Mexico, the Mexican border town. The victims were taken to a stash house where they were found alongside migrants from Central America and China. Now, authorities say that the group had been severely beaten, showing signs of torture like cuts to their ears and marks from attempted strangling, all meant to terrify their families into paying the ransom. Now, Mexican state police were able to rescue the victims, and the FBI did provide tactical support in tracking them down. 4 suspects, all men, were arrested. But what's really alarming here is that it's not just about migrant and drug smuggling anymore. There's a huge focus on extortion, putting everyday Americans at risk who visit their families in Mexico, Marnie.
So Juarez is a border town, but it also sits right across from El Paso, so close in proximity to the states. What are you hearing from the State Department, and have the warnings changed for Americans considering traveling to different parts of Mexico?
So the U.S. State Department has had several warnings across several Mexican states for years, but these recent kidnapping cases in Mexico do once again underscore those warnings, just how important they are. So right now, currently, the U.S. State Department does have a do not travel advisory for at least 6 Mexican states. That includes Michoacan, Tamaulipas, and Sinaloa, due to those high levels of violence and kidnapping. Now, Chihuahua, where those Americans were recently kidnapping, is now under a reconsider travel advisory, meaning that even U.S. government employees face restrictions here. They can't travel between cities after dark and must take approved transportation like an Uber or registered taxi. And if something goes wrong, emergency services are limited in these areas. And this case is a real reminder that the cartel focus isn't just about drug and migrant smuggling. It's a huge focus on extortion now, Marnie.
Right. Well, and if you're traveling to Mexico, make sure you check that website regularly for updates. Jorge, thank you.
All right, guys, you've seen it. They're targeting Americans for kidnapping, extortion means to get money out of them. I guess they're going to make that money up one way or another, because they can't push people across the border and shake them down. But I'm going to be honest with you. After I seen that movie Sicario, that was it for me. And Juarez was featured in that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to begin by saying this, man. You know, these people that do this type of stuff, they don't care about nobody, and they do some of the most vicious stuff. What was it? A month ago? Probably 3 weeks ago. They said they was found out there in the desert. They found 4 women that was Americans vacationing on spring break, might have been last month, hacked to death with axes, just left out there, heads in the pile. American citizens. It's wild, man. It is wild. They're not playing around. And I don't know. I used to date a girl, right, that was born in Matamoros, Mexico. Shout out Matamoros. She goes over there from time to time. And she was like, why don't you go with me? You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna bother you. Go with me. Hell no. I told her, hell no. And then after she told me, oh yeah, you see the cartel people ride around, they ain't got no license plates in their car, they have guns out the window, they don't bother you. You know, just don't look at them and, what? Ain't nobody going over there for that? Man, it's wild, man. Listen, what they do over there is their problem. But a lot of people go for spring break and stuff like this, and a lot of times they come back. But you can only play with fire so many times before you feel the heat of the flames or you take damage from getting burned. You know what I'm saying? It was a situation where they had black folk over there and they was caught up in it. And a couple of them got killed. Y'all remember that? It was like last year. Bunch of crazy stuff. Talking about they was going to a pharmacy to get a procedure done. They had them all in the back of a pickup truck all out in the street. These people are doing this randomly outside. But I will tell you something. Even though Mexico is bad, it ain't no different than over here. Let's be honest with it. Because we're going that way. The safety of American people then flew off like the condor. Flight of the condor is gone. Sense of safety over here. Some of the stuff you see over there is copycatted and brought over here now by all different races of people. Not just of Mexican descent. With leaving bodies in the street, doing kids, doing women, all kind of ways. This is just how it is. And that's the thing. The stranglehold on America, the fabric of American safety is constantly getting tighter. And there's nobody that seems to be taking the initiative to try to pull the fingers off the neck of the American public, safety-wise. It's upsetting. You know what I'm saying? They put these warnings out and people got to go and resort to a board or some type of website to know if it's safe, if they can go from one place to another. In my opinion, I'd stay my behind home. What about you? I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. One thing about being American and living here, we are exposed to the poverty that others endure. Some of us ourselves have went through that at one time or another. But when you go to another country and you mention where you're from, they all of a sudden think you're rich. Nothing can be further from the truth. I will see you in the next video. Take care.